uncovering God's agenda in the lives of His young people. I'm Nancy Mills, and this is Nancy Meets. Hey everybody, and welcome to Nancy Meets. It's really lovely to have you here once again. Coming up today, we're talking all about love and marriage in an episode we're calling The Journey of Lovers. So many of you spoke to us about the pressure you faced to get married and how unsure you were about what marriage actually entailed and involved. And hey, I'm definitely somebody who's still unsure about these things. So, we spoke to 4 great and fantastic couples at varying points in their marriage journeys and asked them to weave for us the story of love, of determination, and finding out God's design for marriage. The result? 4 insightful films of couples speaking honestly about being a part of a threefold cord. And let's begin with our first couple, Pastor Ben and Mrs. Ohiniba Deborah. Married for over 25 years, Pastor Ben and Ohiniba know a great deal about what it means to have and to hold in good and bad times. So we thought them best to tell us what marriage was about and why we should desire to be married. Up until recently, they served at the helm of the National Youth Ministry of the Church of Pentecost UK, but have also served at numerous levels across the country. Juggling ministry and marriage is definitely hard, but when you see them and listen to them, you'll see they've done this with the grace that is just stunning. I caught up with the busy couple at the church's National Youth Conference in Nottingham, and this is what they had to share with me. Take a look.
Yeah, I mean, I should say that in between that first contact and this proposal thing we're talking about, I had gone back to campus in Kumasi and spent time. My favorite place was our basketball pitch and at university, Kane University. I'd go live at 9 o'clock in the night and just put my face down and just pray in tongues.
Wow.
I told my roommate is a Christian book teller, and we spent time praying because I told myself I didn't want to get into a relationship at university. Whilst I was studying, I was hoping that I only look at it at the tail end of my studies, and it was happening now. So was that it? And I don't want to get into any relationship unless a person or somebody else is going to marry. So now I was going to make this big decision. Parents, nobody's around me. How am I going to do it? Ministry was never an issue. We never discussed it. We're all committed to working, serving God, but a full-time ministry was not an issue at all. And that's why it took us 3 years to respond to the call.
Okay.
It was a process for the call. And when we approached, it took 3 years before we responded because we just went. Initially, I used to ridicule it until my pastor rebuked me about Pastor Raymond about it. So it wasn't an issue at all. It's when we were in ministry that we're reflecting back and realizing that then maybe that thing that attracted me to Ohiniba, which was prayer, must have been something in my spirit, seeking somebody who helped me in the future.
But if I knew you were going to be a pastor, that would be told.
That's another issue.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Obviously, if I was also looking for a minister's wife, maybe I'm enough to consider it because I knew some people who do other things. Those who sing.
Unfortunately, I can't sing.
and very flashy. Kind of thing, photogenic, at the time, so it wouldn't have been any of these, So that's how God works, and the thing, your destiny is in your spirit. I heard Apostle Mark talk about it in the conference. The more you nurture your spirit, what you are and what you will begin to manifest. The people, what people are going to be is not evident when you see them. I mean, there was nothing about me that you could desire. This is Jesus' principle, Isaiah 53. Nothing you can desire about him. But when they have been crucified, they've been buried, they've been raised from the dead, that's when you see that person was King of Kings and Lord of Lords. So you need a lot of faith. And this one, I'm speaking to young people. You need a lot of faith on these things. You must get your antenna up. Spiritual antennas, and hear from heaven and get certainty in your heart and then begin to take steps of faith. Some people are no, don't go there. Even if you get dreams, don't go there. Some people are yes. Some people yes and maybe, but get certainty in your heart. And then begin to move in that direction. I mean, things have turned out totally different from how we expected.
Yes.
When I met Ohinebe, I was more of, we set up a company. We did farming, we did communications. We were going to start an international retreat center, telecommunications there. We were going to do an international retreat center. We went to hospitality business. In fact, later I was even thinking about media before we came to ministry. We even ran a company with other people, you know. So business was more on my mind, you know. Now it's turned out to something else. So it's a deposit in your spirit linking with somebody else. And how would you know? It takes the Holy Spirit. So I think prayer is a key thing in waiting for the Lord, on the Lord for his appointed time.
Mom, you mentioned something. You said that had you known that he was going to be a pastor, you might not have said yes. Was there anything that like deterred you from the role at that time? Maybe you'd seen pastors' wives previously, that kind of thing.
I think at that time I hadn't even really gotten into church.
Too much.
Yeah, because I was on campus a lot and we're more like campus life.
Yeah.
A lot was going on in terms of Christian activities, but I don't think church was. But I just wasn't ready for it.
Yeah.
I like to be on my own a lot of times, do what I want to do at my own pace, not be dictated by church activities. And smiling when I don't want to smile, trying to interact with people, knock at your door when you're not ready for it. And I wasn't ready for that. So then it was like I found a man I love and we want to live our life together. But then along the line, I think the key thing is choice. When you choose somebody and you love somebody, you just get into it really. And at some point he was saying, it was my lifestyle, my prayer, my attitude to Christian thing, which encouraged him to go into ministry, but I didn't think, I was at that stage. So you just get into it. I didn't hesitate at all when he had to go into ministry because I was kind of really into it. We're in Crawley, then he was a presiding elder. Yes. And every Sunday there were people already in my home cooking for them. And I just loved doing it. Just loved doing it. So that's our story.
One thing you did talk about is choice. So I would like to find out your view on the concepts of the one. Do you believe that there is the one, or is it that you find someone, you choose to love them, and you maintain that choice for the rest of your life?
That question keeps coming up. It's is as whether there's actually one rib
for
every one person. The one that you're married to is your rib. Yeah, the one that you're married to is your rib. If you get a bad rib, it hurts your side for a long time. You have to cope with it. Yeah. If it's a short one too, you have to lean over to get it to fit properly. So it's choice, and the choice issue is, if you heard me those times we used to run TYP, I used to talk about it a lot. That your biggest decision is choice. All the wisdom God gives a man must be used for two things. One is to accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, and the second thing is to choose a spouse. You know, if you blow it, you've lost it. Yeah, you know. So the choice is a big thing. If you get the choice right, you can manage it. Marriage has its challenges. Marriage has its own. We've had our own fair share of it. But if the choice is right, that's the way forward. So that's what I want to say.
I think with the marriage vows, it says, till death do us part. So, if you say, I do, God will grant you grace. Obviously, it gets to a stage, it's not working. We don't encourage divorce. But it gets to a stage, it's not working.
That's one aspect of the Bible. The other aspect of the principle of love. The principle of love overrules everything. So even if the person's committed murder, if you choose to forgive, you can carry on. God will give you grace to carry on. If they committed adultery, you choose to forgive. They shouldn't do it. I'm saying that's happening. But if you stick with God, God gives grace. That's the point I want to stress. God gives grace to no one.
So as long as there's grace, would counsel as much as possible to try and keep the two of you going. But there are times when it's just not workable.
One thing I do want to talk about is maybe the pressure that a lot of young people face in regards to getting married. Marry well, marry early, so you can enjoy the rest of your marriage. Like, there are some that are being pressured, like either from society, from friends, from family, from church leaders even sometimes. As leaders yourself, what are you doing to reassure people that, it's okay, that you can wait on God, you can take your time, despite everything that they're hearing? What do you do to reassure young people to let them know that marriage is obviously a big decision, and to not allow the pressure to get to them to then marry just anybody and still wait on what God has promised them?
There are two extremes. One is people are completely oblivious, not oblivious. They're probably phlegmatic about the whole issue. They don't take it seriously. It's not on their plate, not on their radar. They know, they just get on with it. They just, and all that. And then there are others who are also under pressure and they want to act. They're precocious and they're getting things so early. In between them must be a balance. The key thing we would want to stress is that marriage plays a big part in people's lives. People don't realize it. You can have all the best of ideas. Marriage can ruin your life. People have gone mental because of marriage. People have married because of marriage. So it's not a matter to leave it for some sudden. One day you went for a night out, found a boy, and all of a sudden marriage started. No, it doesn't work like that. So if you're a lady by 21, it's on your radar. You're praying about this. An issue. If you're a gentleman, lady 18, maybe. Praying about it. Gentleman 21. I'm not saying to marry.
But just start thinking about it.
Because I do. In fact, we've been doing this in our previous districts. When people are going to university, before they leave the exit orientation we do for them, we tell them, we've been telling you all this while that you are young people, stay away from all. Now you are going to university, we want to prompt you that this issue is going to come up. So now get your minds on, in this and start praying about it. So that you don't just walk into a boy and then, because some people can be charming, they can sweep you over. You see them once and something's happening to you. If you're not ready for it, you mess up. So keep praying about the issue until manifestation.
That was a question of what are we practically doing?
And the point I'm making is the balance is, we stress the balance. That between those who kick in the long grass and they don't deal with it until it's 29, they start thinking about it, and those who start doing it very early at 17, you must find some wisdom somewhere to pray about the issue and wait for God to manifest. If you've done your part, you can be confident that so long as I'm praying on the issue, it will come. It will come. It will come. I mean, I wouldn't name names on camera, but God is sorting every one of our young ladies out, no matter how long it's taking. God is sorting everyone. One of them was announcing it today, at a conference. So, no matter no matter how long it takes, it will come. So that's our view. Don't be under the pressure to find anybody, but do your part, especially in prayer. And we use personally I use words like be visible. Visible means be seen to be doing something. Get busy with God and let God plant you in a way somebody can also see you and let things happen.
I think we also have one-to-one sessions, especially in our districts with ladies and gentlemen that we have been about that age. Try to find what the issues are. And obviously we always stress that don't be under pressure, and I think I would want to stress it again. Don't take into any pressure, but not even when it's coming from spiritual leaders, because at the end of the day it's just going to be the two of you together, and people have succumbed to pressure and it's not worked out. It's not worked out because when things are happening, then these same spiritual people would even say, the Bible says don't divorce, which is actually the case, but then you realize that you made a wrong choice or you went in too quickly. So don't be under pressure. It's never too late for God, and I think at the right time, when you do the things that you need to do, God will just visit you. God will just visit you. And in my case, even came at a time I wasn't expecting. And that's what I always encourage young ladies. I was just going about my business and the Lord brought him my way. I thank God the first one didn't work, because if it had worked, I would have lost out. and it's all prayer. Even as you pray, the Lord will make sure that even if we are making other moves elsewhere, it wouldn't work. So I think, there's a lot of things prayer can do. I think Apostle Jimmy Martin stressed it. A lot of things prayer can do. He even gave an example of somebody who came to him and he didn't think 35 years, he didn't think it was possible, but within weeks. So it sounds like a cliche, but that is the importance of prayer. And the choice, as Pastor has stressed, the right person will come even as you pray. And don't be under pressure. Don't look too much at the material things. I think the first key point is the spirituality. The person born again, does he share your faith? And if he shares your faith, then the other ones are not essentials, but they are desirables. Desirables. Does he work? Does he have a car? Does he have a mortgage? All those things, desirables. So it can work out. So I think that's the.
I was just going to make a point about leaders facilitating contact and interaction.
Okay.
Because one of the advantages of youth conferences and youth meetings and projects and all that, is to create contact. We grew up in Ghana. The system in Ghana is big, and between one university and the other, you have about several thousand Christians to bump into. The minority of migrants in the UK and other places, in terms of if you're looking at cultural issues, even alone.
Okay.
I'm another advocate of cross-cultural marriages anyway. But sometimes when people have to choose, the pool of eligible people is very narrow.
Yes.
If you look into a typical local church, for example, you've got 40 members there, and there are 15 mothers, 15 fathers, and 2 children, and maybe 6 youth or something like that. Is it are you going to marry? Because one does the camera, one does not do it, and all is my sister, my brother, my sister, my brother. So when it comes to relationship, it doesn't look like are you the one to marry. We've been friends all this while we work together. So you must always expand the network, and that's a duty leaders must facilitate. Create room for cross fertilization. People from different parts come together so that you could get that blend. Because if you live in Croydon, somebody from Glasgow can link up with you. Last year when I was on vacation in Canada and USA, there were people who were asking me questions about, are there people in London with them? Because they also have issues. Because you go to a PIWC, say Toronto or Washington DC or something, they want a bigger scope to be able to see people and interact with them. So sometimes leaders have to create that platform so that youth can collide, and out of that kind of collision, things will happen.
How do you connect that to recommending somebody? Because sometimes we don't just create a platform for people to meet, but we have leaders recommending.
Recommendation is a possibility because it's one. What we stress always is that no matter how you meet somebody, the decision to enter into a relationship or marry is entirely yours. Because even in some cultures there's arranged marriage. They'll bring the person to you. Whatever happens, it must be your personal decision that you want to enter into a relationship with the person. So I do tell people that, have you seen this person? Have you thought about this? It's up to you to pray about it. I'll come back and get some more feedback on the person. I'll probably do some work about the person. You might feel like
you shouldn't necessarily be under pressure because your pastor has recommended or your mother have to. The decision is finally yours. So be careful about that.
So just lastly before you go, just want to find out what have you personally both learned from being married, either about each other or about marriage in general, or what kind of life lessons have you learned?
I think for me, I've learned to be more sociable. Having been married to him, he used to be a typical son when he's no more. He doesn't like be described with a temperament because he said he's always filled, which he is. But I used to be more to myself, and even before we came into ministry, I think our temperaments have just wrapped up on each other. He's a bit quieter now, a bit toned down, but I've learned to be sociable too, because he had a lot of friends which had to become my friends as well. So I had to really blend my temperament with his, and I think it's something I really like. About him, which I've also taken up, and I've learned to be organized. Strangely, most of the time women are more organized than men, most of the time, but I've learned to be more organized. Having been married to him, I used to do things as long as I get the results, whichever way I do it. But I think he's very organized. I don't want to use the word prim and proper, but he's very organized, likes things in order, and I've learned that from him as well. And Bible study is one thing that I've picked up from him. So I think a lot more. Someone intimate. So what about you?
So I think I've learned to be sober. I've been sobered seriously. I've been disabled in many things. So it's helped me. Maybe it's prepared me for what we're doing now. Because I would have maybe over the top, all over the place by now. But the Lord has helped me to be very sober. My wife loves prayer, so it's a great asset to me and to the family as well. She's my personal prophetess, so it's a great asset to
Shall we close our eyes without prophesying?
Don't close your eyes out. So that's good. And then she's a very good cook. If she cooks and you eat, it makes a difference. It makes a difference. She's fantastic in many ways. So I really thank God for her life.
I love them. My thanks to Pastor Ben and Mrs. Ohineba for speaking to me. Still to come, my conversation with Amos and Michelle Patel on how India met Ghana and took the Twitterverse by storm. You're watching Nancy Meets.
Funnily enough, no, we weren't really expecting it. We were on honeymoon at the time.
Oh wow!
Wasn't it?
Really?
Yeah. We tweeted it while we were on honeymoon, and it was quite ironic because one of our friends from secondary school actually made the caption for us. So we sent her the picture from the wedding, and she came up with the caption, and she was like, "Oh, why don't you post it?" And I was like, "I don't really post things like this." Yeah. Which was like, "No, go and post it." And then we posted it, and then it just went absolutely crazy.
Blue. Welcome back to Nancy Meets. Last year, Amos and Michelle Patel caught the attention of the Twitterverse with their tweet of enduring love that brought well wishes from the world over. But their story is one that is becoming increasingly more common as cultures find love beyond borders. Yet as you'll find listening to them, it's not been an easy journey, but one that fills them with great passion to keep running and keep speaking of the God-ordained love they've been blessed with. Here's their story and insight exclusively on Nancy Meets.
Amos, Michelle, thank you so much for joining me on my sofa today. I'm really excited to sit down and speak to you. I feel like you guys are like my mini celebrities. So really excited to sit down and speak to you. So let's start from the beginning. So we'll talk about how I first came across you guys, where I saw a tweet, which was adorable. I remember that it was a picture of you guys in secondary school, against a picture of you guys at your wedding, and how long you guys have been on this journey. So, and the tweet went viral. I saw it everywhere. Were you expecting that response at the time, and how did you deal with the attention?
Funnily enough, no, we weren't really expecting it. We were on honeymoon at the time.
Oh wow!
Wasn't it?
Really?
Yeah. We tweeted it while we were on honeymoon, and it was quite ironic because one of our friends from secondary school actually made the caption for us. So we sent her the picture from the wedding, and she came up with the caption, and she was like, "Oh, why don't you post it?" And I was like, "I don't really post things like this." Which was like, "No, go and post it." And then we posted it, and then it just went absolutely crazy.
Blue.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I'm not actually on Twitter, so I didn't actually know what was behind it. And then Amit was just telling me, "Oh, we've got this retweet, we've got this," and I don't even know the time. So I don't even know the time.
I remember telling Michelle "Oh my god, we got 100 retweets," and Michelle was like, "Oh, isn't that just like 100 likes?"
I don't know.
And then, off the back of that, what did you do with the attention? So was it okay, that's cute, let's just go back to our regular lives? Or did you think, what do we do with this? What did you do afterwards?
It's an interesting one because while in the build up to the wedding, a lot of people told us you guys should do vlogging, tell people your story and so forth. And we were kind of
we're kind of on the fence about it because I'm personally not the type of person. Well, I wouldn't have said that I was the type of person that would like to do YouTube because I thought I'm not a very outspoken type of person. And I thought you had to be that kind of person to do that. So I was thinking, nah, that's not really for us. But then it was on honeymoon when he was saying all this stuff, and then people were asking him more questions. That then we were like, okay, maybe we should do a video and then answer people's questions, address what they want to know. And then it just went on from there.
Because we had people contacting us on every social media platform possible. And they were asking questions which eventually got repetitive, but it almost made it obvious that we should just do a vlog
so everyone can watch it and answer the questions. Fair enough. So because your story is so different, let's just talk about the beginning. So how did you guys actually meet?
I'll let you show.
Okay, so we actually met in secondary school in year 9. So I moved from Edenham or something into Harris. And I remember we were in quite a few of the same classes, but we didn't really take notice of each other. But Amit was a very troublesome student.
I see. Okay.
So he was always the one that's like trying to get attention in the class or whatever. And I was really, really quiet, so I didn't speak in school. So our science teacher decided to move him next to me to hope that,
good girl,
to like calm him down a bit. It didn't really work because he was just bugging me all the time. So I think after that, it's just we obviously got used to each other, so we were talking a lot. But it was a lot of banter here and there. Like I wouldn't have said that I didn't know he liked me. I wouldn't have said that. I thought we actually
just being friends.
Yeah. And then one of his friends told me that he liked me. So it was then that I was like, oh, maybe I should consider the idea that I might like him too. And then I think it went from there.
Yeah. When you were put next to her, what were your initial thoughts?
See, Michelle was a bit of a funny one because, like, she wouldn't really talk to people, like, in class.
Yeah.
She wouldn't really talk to people. She'd just get on with her work. She was very smart. And, you know, without, I think, blowing each other's trumpets, we were both quite intellectual.
Yeah.
And it was almost as if it was a challenge where I would like to out-trump Michelle and vice versa.
Okay.
So that was a good thing about sitting next to one another because it was almost like...
We pushed each other.
Yeah, we encouraged each other to better ourselves. With me, you know, I would like to have a joke in between, but with Michelle, it didn't really work. So it was kind of like just work. So I kept trying to like break her down and, you know, understand what's going on. You know, she wasn't having it. And that's when I realised that church played such a big part in Michelle's life because she would tell me Monday she's going to church, Tuesday she's going to church, Wednesday she's going to church, youth meeting, Thursday she's got, you know, choir rehearsal, Friday prayer meeting, Saturday is her day off, and then Sunday
back to church.
So I was just amazed by how often she used to go to church. But yeah, that was where it all started.
When she began to speak about her faith at the time, or like you knew that she was so active, did you become inquisitive about it at all? Or like, because from what I understand, you weren't a Christian at the time.
Yeah, that's right. So it was a good platform for Michelle to share what church was all about for her perspective on it, and also invite me. So Michelle used to tell me that she was a singer. She used to sing in the choir, and for me, someone who'd never visited a church before and didn't understand what church was like, I automatically started to imagine Michelle like Beyonce. So I used to say like, oh, do you sing like Beyonce? Because I didn't know what gospel music was.
Okay.
And then she was kind of like, you know, no, I'm not really like Beyonce, but come and see me. We have a youth event going on and so forth. And then I started to attend church and started to see her perform. And it was a really nice channel for her to be able to use that. Use that channel to introduce me to church and visit and see what it's all about.
Yeah. So that was secondary school, and like all these years later, you're married with a child and stuff. Do you feel like, obviously it was such a young age, when you initially started the relationship, could you tell, or did you know at that time that it would have lasted as long as it has done?
No.
No.
I would say no,
really?
For sure. As in, I think when you're young, you're like, oh, we're going to get married, we're going to do, but you don't know if you actually mean it.
Yeah.
You just, I guess it's just a fantasy at the time.
Yeah.
But as it was getting on, and we even broke up quite a few times in between.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, quite a few times in between, because I was like, this isn't realistic. Like, how am I going to bring an Indian man to my house and to explain to my parents?
So
we broke up quite a few times. And then I think it was last year of college. After he gave his life to Christ, that I think I asked him out again, like some months later, because we were still friends, really good friends, even when we did break up. And then I realised, actually, maybe this could work. And then it was from then on that I guess we actually both took it really, really serious.
Would you say then you were waiting for that trigger in regards to his relationship and journey with God to say that, this cements it for me, this is definitely it?
For sure, because I feel like for me, obviously my faith was such a big part of my life, so it was the thing where if he's not Christian, it can't work. But I never ever put that on him to say, look, if you're not Christian, it's not gonna happen. Because I feel like if I did that, if he had given his life to Christ because of me, it still wouldn't work. It's not something that I'd be able to say that we're going to last till whatever, because I think down the line it could mean that there's more resentment because he might be doing stuff because Michelle does it. Whereas I'd rather him have his own
make that decision for himself.
That's true.
You did say that, obviously because of you were thinking about bringing him home to your family, you broke up a few times. What were the sort of difficulties and, the barriers that you faced when you guys were growing up in your relationship? And like, how did your community deal with it?
Do you want to go with that?
Yeah, so in terms of, when you mean, like, do you mean from when I met Michelle's parents or before that in terms of community?
Okay, like when you met the parents, that was like, I'm sure it was like the big reveal.
Yeah, so when I met Michelle's parents, it was quite funny actually because they'd seen me at church.
Yeah.
So they'd seen that I'd been attending some youth events and I went on the odd Sunday and so forth. So they were familiar with me, but they weren't familiar with me in terms of being Michelle's partner.
Yeah.
So I think Michelle spoke to them.
Yeah, I told my mum first, and then I said, "Oh, there's someone that I think I like that I would like to marry."
Yeah.
And she said, "Who?" And I said, "Oh, the Indian guy I see at church." She's like, okay. And then I think she was like, I mean, he's a nice guy. And then she was like, oh, you'd have nice children.
Yeah.
Okay,
Such a Ganya response.
Yeah, exactly. So and she's like, yeah, he's a nice guy. We need to like get to know him and stuff. And I was like, but don't tell Dad yet.
Yeah.
Because my dad, he had already been making jokes about it, like, oh, what would I eat at the wedding? What would we eating at home? Kind of thing. So he wasn't happy with it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until I sat him down and I said, Dad, you need to stop making those jokes now because I actually do really like
I actually really like this.
It's really weird because Michelle's dad is probably one of the most open-minded people that you know, encounter in the church. He's an elder. You can speak to him about absolutely anything and you wouldn't have any reservations. But just his opinion on this was just it was just really interesting.
It's just strange. I think because parents obviously have their preference for who they'd like their child to be with in the future, but I think once they get to know, as in they got to know him, and my dad is literally like his best friend now, like he calls him his son and stuff. So it's like, I think it's just that first trying to get, moment. Then after that they're all okay. It's just they just want to. I think they want to know as well, how serious are you? Yeah. If I tell you that I don't like him, does that mean you're going to back down? Because then I guess if you do, then they know it wasn't serious. It wasn't serious. Okay. So. Yeah.
How about on the flip side? So your family.
Yeah. So on the flip side, when Michelle, so breaking the news about Michelle to my parents to my family was a process which took a few weeks, probably even into months.
Yeah.
So to go through it quickly, the first time I told them was like in December, with the idea of wanting to propose in May. Okay. So I'd given them 6 or 7
But guys,
months.
bear in mind, he told them he's going to propose, not that
this
girl
is my
girlfriend
thing.
Because so what had happened was in the build up during our relationship all these years, I'd been thinking about what would be the best way to approach it. Obviously heard about others in our community, in the Indian community, and how people or their parents had reacted to their marriage. And I decided that I had to get to a position where I was confident and comfortable to say I'm marrying Michelle. Yeah. And be happy. Well, not happy. Be able to deal with anything that they throw my way. Yeah. So I thought, okay, let me get to that position, and then I can tell them, look, I'm now ready to propose to someone. Yeah. I'm coming to you for your approval. You know, I kind of want your blessing. But if you say no, it's not the be all and the end all. So I had to get myself into that position mentally, and obviously things such as being disowned and, you know, then kind of telling you to get out of the house and so forth, you know, those things you had to consider. Yeah, you had to really go through that process and get ready, you know, if that was to happen. So I told them in December, I'm ready to propose in June. My mum didn't like the sound of it. She wasn't happy. My dad was okay. My dad didn't have any issues. And then throughout the months in between, I had to keep like reminding them, you know, look, I'm going to propose to Michelle. Yeah, they weren't happy about it at all. But then eventually, as time went on and more people from my family started to know, they were really helpful in terms of trying to make my mum understand that, you know, it's okay. She's going to love Michelle the same way. And that's how it kind of transitioned from December to June. It was just a whole going back and forth between me and my parents. And then, so I then proposed to Michelle, and I believe they still hadn't really, they hadn't officially met Michelle as my girlfriend.
Wow.
They hadn't met me yet.
Yeah, they had met you. They had met her as my friend, but not as my partner. And then, so I proposed. Got engaged, and then a couple of months after it was my nan's birthday. Yeah, so it was my nan's birthday. And that was kind of like the first platform to get Michelle in the spotlight, meet my uncles and so forth. And that was the first time she met them.
Yeah.
Did you, like, it's very almost dangerous stage. So you had already proposed to her.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to do it anyway at this stage. So were you ever like concerned that, you know, at that stage where she meets the rest of the family, she's going to be my wife and they're going to come up against me? Is it that you were in a place that you could say, yeah, I'm just going to deal with it now, but I'm still definitely going to marry Michelle? Or was it like, oh my God, what am I going to do now if like half my uncles say no? Like,
yeah, so see, this was a great thing because once I had proposed, one of my uncles, the day I proposed actually, my uncle called me and I missed his call and I thought, oh God, I really don't want to take this call because it could ruin the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, let me leave the call and I'll speak to him later in the day or tomorrow. His voicemail basically said, look, I know you've gone to propose to Michelle, don't worry. I'm happy with, you know, you if you want to get married, I support you and so forth. And that's all I needed. I just needed one person in my family,
at least one person,
to stand up and support me. And once I heard that, like the weight had been lifted because after that it was like I have someone, you know, fighting in my corner with me. But yeah, there was that element that okay, one uncle's on board, but then there's the whole family. My mum's family who lives in India. There's her whole family. But yeah, you had to be really bold and courageous. And I suppose in the moment I thought, yeah, I'm ready to deal with anything that comes my way. But now looking back on it, I was probably far from ready to deal with anything. But it's just in the moment you have to feel like you can
Because
deal
we were
with
like
anything.
really scared at the time that because like, we had to consider probably half his family won't come to the wedding. How are we going to deal with that? And we even had like a few arguments in terms of his mum was like, okay, fine, you guys can get married, but it's not going to be the day that you guys have set. Wow. So because we had already booked stuff at the time, so we ended up having to cancel all that. And then we pushed it back a few months, but they were even like, no, they wanted it the following year, but we were literally like, no, this is it. So yeah, we just had to literally take a leap of faith in everything that we did.
Just before you talked about families a lot, what have you guys maybe personally done to try and I don't know, maybe elevate your position and said like embrace each other's cultures, show each other's families like, yeah, you know what, I actually want to be a part of it. I can do this. I want to make an effort to be a part of, you know, your story. What have you guys done to embrace each other's cultures?
Well, from the Ghanaian side, I don't think I've really had any reservations in terms of what I do, but I think it's simple things like, you know, wearing each other's traditional attire. You know, it's very easy to assume, oh, Michelle's black, so she's not going to wear a sari. Or Amit's Asian, so he's not going to wear kente. You know, so things like that, just to show that you want to get involved. You don't want to stand out when you go to an Indian event and you're the only one not wearing a sari. So things like that. Also, like community events. You know, so if my family were having a gathering and they invited us over, we would go. It's not a thing where we'd say, oh no, we don't really talk to those people, so we don't want to come. We still want to try and interact with as many people as possible. Now, it could be that you go there and they speak in their local language.
The whole time.
The whole time. But the fact that you're there, shows that you're trying to make that effort. And it's similar with Michelle's family. You know, I could go somewhere and in the midst of her uncles, they could be speaking in their local language. But the odd time, they'll still speak in English to try and incorporate. But that's because I'm there, so they will embrace it. If I'm not there, then that would never happen. So just it's always about having that, you know, keeping that opportunity.
What have I done? I think so with Amit's family, or I guess it's an Indian thing, they generally have dinner all together, but they all sit on the floor. So I feel like before I met Amit, I would not do that. My legs are not strong like that. But I think I've become accustomed to that. So it's a thing. Cause I think at first it would be a thing where they're like, "Oh, you can sit on the chair," and then everyone else sit on the floor. I'm like, no, now let me like try and be a part of you guys. If you guys are sitting on the floor, I'm going to sit on the floor with you guys and eat. I think. Events and stuff. I try as much as possible. I let Amit's mom dress me. She dresses me because she likes that kind of thing. She likes getting all the sari together, getting all your bangles together. So you come a day earlier, you go through what we have to. So that's one thing that we do as well. What else?
Food wise, what do you guys eat at home?
I eat everything Indian. I eat. I love Indian food. Even that was before we even got married. I love Indian food.
I love Ghanaian food.
That's good.
So
that's good.
That's no problem for us.
And what have you guys done about languages? Like, have you tried to learn each other's languages at all, or?
Okay, I've tried to learn Gujarati.
Michelle's tried.
Even before we were married, I had an app on my phone.
Oh, look at that.
To give me some key phrases.
Yeah.
Yes.
Michelle's been trying. But Michelle, so I speak Gujarati.
But I don't actually speak Tree.
Gujarati.
Okay.
But Michelle doesn't speak Tree.
You don't actually speak it yourself?
I don't speak it, I understand it, but I don't.
Okay.
I feel like I sound really English when I try, so I just don't try. I just respond in English.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I can't really teach it.
if I'm trying to learn Tree, and I'm the only person I'm going to be comfortable like trying with is Michelle.
She doesn't do it herself.
And she doesn't do it herself, so it's like it's a bit of a lost cause. Whereas if she asks me about Gujarati, I'm more than happy to tell her if it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, with Tree, we've hit a bit of a stumbling.
Yeah, but we'll get there, guys. We'll learn together.
Such a beautiful couple, and congratulations to them both, as they've just welcomed a handsomely cute baby boy into the world. My best wishes to the whole family. Emmanuel and Samantha Dancel may be incredibly young, but my God, have they been filled with a great spirit and fire. Married in 2013, their marriage has seen the birth of thriving ministry in the form of Emmanuel Dancel Ministries, which uniquely and passionately preaches the Word of God. I spoke to the couple about their incredible journey and how the birth of this ministry influences their marriage. Just to begin, how long have you guys been together?
Okay,
2009?
2009, yes. So your maths.
8 years?
No,
8 years.
No.
Around 2017.
Yeah.
8 years.
Yeah. Okay. And I do want to find out more about the journey when it came to getting together and stuff. So I understand you guys were at uni when you met. What was that like? Obviously, uni is a very peak time in a young person's life. Friends, there's loads of things happening at uni. How did the search begin?
Well, to be fair, I wasn't actually looking. Let's just, I wasn't looking, but I ended up going to Samantha's church.
Okay.
And I was invited by her youth pastor, and she saw me at Freshers Fair. She goes, "Oh, could you come over to the church?" So I said, "Yeah, no problem. Just go in excited, just to start a new church." Because one of the main issues I had was, if I'm going to university, I want to be looking for a church that I can be part of, a church that I can get involved in. So when she invited me, I was on it straight away. I said, "That's it. I'm ready to go."
Okay.
During the worship, the beginning when the opening prayer, they were doing the opening prayer, and I noticed that there was a bass guitar for it. So I've been playing bass for some time, so I thought, you know what, let me go up and help them out.
Okay.
And they said, "Yeah, sure, no one plays it." So I said, "Cool." I went up there, and there was like a line of young ladies just lined up on the stage, and we were in the middle of an opening prayer, so I think it was kind of opening worship prayer, and I was playing the bass, and I just remember opening my eyes, and I saw out the 8 girls or 9 girls out on there, I just saw Sam's arm lifted, and I quickly shut my eyes. I was like, "Lord, I'm so sorry." I said, "Lord, I'm so sorry." But and he's like, "No, open your eyes, I'm trying to show you something." Wow. So I said, "Wow, okay." This is the first week. This was September 2008. So when they say everyone go and say hello to somebody at the end of the week, and I love you, that was my opportunity. So I pushed everyone out of the way. I was like, ready for her. Wow. I went straight for her. And I went to give her a hug. And I said, "What's your name?" She said, "Samantha." What's that, Emmanuel? I was like, "Yeah, cool, yeah." We just started talking small. And I made it an intentional move to actually go and talk to her. Yeah. I found her very attractive, but you can meet attractive people, but I only hear what comes out of her mouth and listen to her mind. So we went over to talk, and after service, I just said, "Oh, hi, my name's Emmanuel, I'm studying this," and she said, "I'm studying that." So where'd you go? We just started talking, and from then we didn't talk for a good 2 weeks.
Wow.
And I'm just what I was doing. I was just generally, because obviously she didn't know anything. I was coming from an angle of I've seen something and I've heard something in my spirit, and I was like, "Let me go and check what this girl was all about." So I didn't contact her for a good 2 weeks. I didn't take her number, didn't nothing. Just said, "Hello, how are you? My name," because I wanted to see how she was going to respond. And within those 2 weeks, I added all her friends on Facebook. That's when Facebook was really strong. I added all her friends on Facebook. I got all her friends, and then she was sitting there. One time, she had enough. She added me. She goes, "How come you haven't added me on Facebook?"
Was it doing that intentional?
Yes. To be fair, because I was a bit like, all right, I'm unsure here, because I found her very attractive. I liked her, and I was like, "Oh, how do I respond to this situation?" So I was a bit nervous. So I thought, you know what, let me not do nothing. Let's just see how things take on from there. And when we added each other on Facebook, we just got to know each other. We spent a lot of time talking, finding out our likes, our dislikes. Just got to know each other. And then after that period in September 2008 through into September 2009, we just started taking it a bit more seriously and moving in a more serious direction.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was just how we sort of met.
But this is like the beginning of uni. Not many people have that. So they go to uni and be like, okay, I might find someone.
Yeah.
If anything, it happens in the final year. You hear
First
freshers
week.
and then that was it. So you were together basically the whole of
from university, right from the very beginning. And I remember telling my dad, actually, I called my dad, I was like, Dad, I've seen this is the first time I've ever called anyone. I was like, Dad, I think I found the person. He's like, all right, take it easy. Be calm. Just make sure you don't do anything dangerous. It was like the moment I spoke to my parents, I knew straight away in my spirit. I said, no, this is something different. And when I spoke to my parents about it, they were first time I'd ever had that conversation with them. So they were sort of like, whoa, okay, how do we deal with this? At the same time, they were glad that I was able to come and talk to them about it. So making them aware, and we got a few people involved in our relationship. We spoke to the bishop of Sam's church at the time. We got her involved, and just as overseers and accountability to see where we were going, what direction we were going in, and just make sure we had help. So
one thing you did say is that one thing that was important for you when coming into uni was finding the church, like from the get-go. So in regards to relationships that you had prior to going to uni, maybe prior to being serious in Christ, what was different about Sam that you knew that this was, this is completely like nothing I've ever seen before?
Do you know what it was for me? I could be myself around Sam. I could show her my weaknesses and not feel like she was going to judge me. I could show her, I could just be real. A lot of people sort of see you, and sometimes you never show them the deep side of you. And I felt like with Sam, I could be real and not feel judgment. I could have some flaws and I won't feel judged. And I thought that's what bridged the edge. I saw such a deep love of God in her. And she expressed that in the way she moved and operated and the way she lived her life. For me, I just felt really comfortable around her. Whereas maybe in the past, I've never gone that deep in terms of my friendships and relationships for people to see where my flaws are. Exactly. And I feel that's the big difference between me meeting Sam and then meeting everyone else. Obviously, over time, you get to develop that understanding of each other, but as time went on, I was able to express where I'm not that strong and not feel like, I'm not a good enough man, or I could just be real. Okay, I'm not that strong here. I need you to help me. Or I need you to teach me where you're strong, I'm weak, where I'm strong, you're weak, and then we come together and make one unit. So I think that's the big difference. She expressed to me such a love from God that made me feel really comfortable in her presence, and I think that was a big difference. You
went to her church, and this was the whole period of uni that you
it was all 2 years.
how did you like juggle, so church, studying, being in a relationship at church, and obviously I guess maybe sometimes when we're younger we're asked to subdue our emotional attachments, or just so that it's not in the limelight with everyone. Especially from your point of view, we talk about men searching and looking, but how did you know that you were the one that Emmanuel was looking for? So he's explained his side. How did you know?
I didn't know him the first. I saw him and I thought he was good looking, and I'd like to get to know him. I didn't have that confirmation from God. Really. It was the more we kept meeting up and talking, getting to know each other, the more it was like, actually, I'd like to get to know this guy a bit more. I wouldn't mind having this guy as a husband, type of thing. And then when I finally made a decision to introduce him to my family, that was a big step for me as well. Just like him, I never introduced anybody to my family, and I knew whoever I introduced to the family, that is it. So, and then once we did that, for me that was like, okay, this is one. I'm going to do everything I can to work together, to make this work and live for God really together. So it wasn't on the first day I saw him, I heard something. That it was as we were growing together.
Okay. In regards to choosing a partner, what would you say that you were looking for that was different from the regular person?
For me personally, I was looking for somebody that would always place God first. I was looking for someone that would place God first in all situations. I was also looking for someone that wasn't going to be bound by the norms of society. I wanted somebody that was ready to step out, somebody that would help me to move forward, and likewise me help them to move forward. That person will move forward. So when I met Samantha, a lot of our conversations were always either Bible-based. We were talking about futures, careers, ministry plans. We checked out these areas, we tested these areas to make sure what we wanted were the same things. In Samantha, I was looking for a God-fearing person. I was looking for somebody that would be able to tell me if I'm going the wrong way, would be able to say, that's not in line with the word, come back to the word. I needed somebody that would be able to yank me by the ear and say, hey, calm yourself down. I needed somebody that could just say, because I'm quite a sort of like, come on, let's go and do this. I needed someone a cool head, someone that could also sort of complement my character, my personality. So not just from a spiritual point of view, but I needed somebody that I could actually just simply, not to be too over spiritual, but just someone I could get along with, someone I could laugh with, someone I could talk to about anything, someone I could feel comfortable to share my deepest secrets, somebody I could just, a friend. I was looking for a friend first. I wanted a friend first before anything else. And in Samantha, I found a friend, someone I could just be real, be honest. And like I said earlier, I didn't feel like she judged me for anything. I rather felt like she looked upon my errors, my mistakes, and my issues, and said, you know what, God's got you. And sort of move together. So with all the spiritual aspects, I also look for some practical things. You know, someone clever, someone smart, intelligent, wise. You know, when me as a guy is I needed someone to just be like, calm down. You know what I mean? I needed that wise head, and that's what I found in Samantha. So when choosing, I was looking for all these qualities in a young lady that I could really move forward with. And on top of that, I needed someone that also wanted to pursue ministry with me, because I knew exactly where I was going. So if it was like, what's your mindset concerning all this? If she was like, nah, I would have been like, that's not for me then. You see what I'm saying? I needed someone that knew, okay, this is the direction I'm going in. Are you happy to jump on the boat with me and for us to go together? And let's find out what God's calling us to do. And she was like, that's exactly where I feel God's calling me to. So that sort of take the boss and help us move forward.
Having said that, so just from you, Sam, like when he let you know that so early on in the relationship, like you knew that this was the road, did that ever scare you at all?
No, it didn't, because I didn't really think about it. So even though he would tell me like, oh, this is what God wants me to do, and I'm going to pursue this, you know, it didn't scare me because I didn't think about it much. I think the more we grew, the more I saw God's love on his life, the more I saw his passion for Christ. I was like, wow, okay, this is real. I remember the first time when I went to the Christian fellowship at the university, and he was answering a question, simple question, not even preaching that day, just answering a question, but I heard him speak, and just his response, I was like, wow, okay, that's totally different. This guy really is in love with God. But even then, he didn't really. I was like, okay, And then he spoke about his vision, that, you know, what God has set for him. I was like, yeah, that's really good. But I still wasn't afraid of it. It didn't scare me. I didn't think too much of it. And as the more we grew, I just jumped on board, like, right, this is what I want to do, because I want everybody to hear the message of grace. I want everybody to come to Christ. So I was like, we'll do it together.
When it comes to ministry, obviously there's a lot involved: speaking engagements, sermons, doing conferences, visiting other churches, and then there's family. You have a son. You know, you've got so much, both working. How do you make time for just Emmanuel and Samantha, and what do you guys do to have fun?
This is yesterday, or even a week ago. I'll be honest with you, sometimes it gets very, very busy. And we were talking yesterday about how we need to be intentional about making time. And what happens is you have a child, you go to work, you're preparing your sermons, you're studying the word, you're going to preach, you're doing all those things, and the danger is you're doing all of these things and you're missing out your wife, or you're missing out your husband. So you're going, preaching, prepare your son, take him to school, take him to grandma, eating, you remember to eat, you don't forget to eat, you do all those things, and you know, you're doing all those things and you forget your spouse. And we were talking about it yesterday, and Sam brought up this whole sort of idea of, well, we should go away here and go to this particular place. And I said, oh, well, we haven't got the time to do that. And she sort of walked away a bit upset. And then we spoke about it later on, and I told her, I said, you know, actually, my fault. Because the Spirit of God told me straight away, go back and fix that. Fix it quickly. So I went back and I said, I'm really sorry about that. We need to be intentional, because the danger is you get so busy, carried away with helping everybody, or you don't even focus on your spouse. And that's a big danger, because you need your spouse to help you go where you need to go and God's taking. So what we realise is that actually we need to be more intentional and on purpose make time. Don't wait to feel like you want to do something. Set it in your schedule. Say on this day, and if a speaking engagement comes, say today I'm not speaking, we're doing this, and that's what we've learned to sort of develop. Like, you got to know when to sort of say no. Sometimes it's not a no because you don't have anything to say. It's a no because actually I put my wife in that position there and I need to spend time with her, and likewise vice versa. And that's what we were talking about.
Wow.
We're learning, we're growing.
Okay.
I made any mistakes. And I got to go preach on that day. I go and preach, but I forget I got to come home to this person that got upset.
Okay. So yes, obviously you're going to be making time and just changing things. So what's next then, obviously, in regards to ministry, and what does the future hold for both of you?
Exciting times, really. Just more conferences, and just seeing where God wants to take us. We definitely want to continue sharing this. And having a base really for everyone to come and hear the word, and from the conferences, everyone goes, oh, where can we come and hear this? So we're just waiting on God, but definitely exciting times.
I would actually say, on top of what Sam's saying, I would say, we're sort of, but in terms of what's next, it's in terms of the environment we're currently in. We believe that God's encouraging us and ministering to us and telling us to become more radical. I hope this word comes out, but radical with the message that you're taking. Go the extra mile. Reach that person that you didn't reach last year. Have that extra confidence you didn't have last year. Take it one step further. Don't get weary of doing good. Keep on moving, and that's where we are right now. Is that God? We thank you for the strength you've given us. We're going to come towards the end of the year. What do we do next? And it's like, Lord, we don't want to be held back by yesterday's glory. We want to be able to move on to a whole new level, a new dimension. You don't want to go, well, we did this last year, back. It's last year, God, brush off, let's keep on moving. And that's the way we're forward thinking. We want to move forward, and that's what we're seeing at the moment. We want to move into nations. We want to move invading schools. And at the moment, this whole year, we went to about 5 universities to preach the gospel. Next year, we're going to make it 10 universities. We're going to Ghana in October to host the Grace Convention in Ghana for 5 days. We want to get out there. But I mean, no barriers, no boundaries. We want to go over and above what the human natural really can do, because we're under serving a great God. So that's where we are.
Just love those two. We'll be back with Emmanuel and Ebiswade after this. You're watching Nancy Meets. Emmanuel and Ebiswade Jones provide entertainment to thousands weekly with their fantastic videos on relationships, love and family. But at the heart of their entertainment is a unique and beautiful love between two young people from very different backgrounds and understanding. So, how did they meet, and what did God intend for their marriage? Here's what they told me.
Emmanuel, Swade, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you very much.
I'm just going to dive straight into the interview. Really excited to sit down and talk to you. So let's start from the beginning, like the inception. How did you guys meet? If you could describe it to us, what was it like initially? Oh, wow.
We met completely out of Christ. We met in the club.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Yeah, we were young.
Yeah.
We were 19 in college.
Yeah.
And we were very not saved.
Yeah, very.
We were very much heathen, literally. We were living like a proper unsanctified life. And when we met, it was just impulsive, lustful. It was worldly in a nutshell, and we were young as well, so I guess immature. And when we met, it was just everything that it shouldn't have been.
Yeah, wow.
In a nutshell.
And then when would you say, how far along did the transition happen? Guys, you know what, we actually want to do this properly. What was the transition like, and how far along did it happen?
The transition, I guess, it came at different stages, I guess, for myself and for Swade.
Yeah.
I think for me, it was more when it started to happen, I guess, when I started to give my life to Christ. So when I was the second year of uni, and I went to church. I got invited to go to church. I went there twice, but then I just completely stopped.
Yeah.
Obviously, went out raving the next day. You know, that uni lifestyle was a bit crazy. But I came back down to London, and obviously started going to uni in London. And then Swaddy was going to church, and I was like, no, do your church thing. Trying to belittle her, but I was like, no, that's good.
At that point, I wasn't at church.
No, but I'm trying to say, okay, I'm actually missing a bit on this. Fast forwarding it. Then obviously you was rooted in our current church, and then then I came. You want me to come for your birthday, so I went for your birthday, and then so one of the male leaders came spoke to me. And he was like, well, I think that's what they had spoken to him. And said,
But you didn't know that at the time.
I didn't know that. I had to encourage her to come. And then they have that men's fellowship on the next day, on the Monday. So I went there and I was like, you know what, I like it. You know, it was nice to be amongst young men that are hungry for God. And obviously, I'm new to it. I'm like, I want to know more. Like, how did you guys perhaps change your lifestyle to submit all to Christ? You know what I mean? Then I think I came. Because I was staying next to his mum's at the time, so I came back home and I was like, I went to voice class. It was really moving, it was really powerful, and I started going. Then I just got more into it. Then I just fully just submitted and just gave my life to Christ. And then I think with that, Swaddy had already given her life anyway. But then with that, it's helped say, okay, let's take things seriously. Let's take it to the next step. Let's cut out all forms of obviously ungodliness, fornication, all that X, Y, Z. I was like, if we're going to do it, let's do it properly. And I think what kind of helped to cement it, our pastor said she wanted to see us. And our pastor is very staunch about relationships and church.
At the time, our church was classified as a youth ministry.
Everyone's
older now, so
but
at the time, everyone was maybe really, let's say from 17 to 23
at the most.
With
that, she was like, come, let's have a conversation. So we were sort of a bit panicky, thinking,
I remember I said to him, I was just like, you know what, if it's not God's will. No, I said to him, if she says that we can't see each other no more, we just have to respect it and let's just look for God, and if it's God's will, then we'll find that, if it's real, then we'll come back or whatever. Literally, but she was just like, no, there's something special about you guys, and she kind of encouraged us and counselled us, and literally from that first meeting of hers, the growth was immense, because we were kind of keeping our eyes more on God than each other. And she was kind of counselling us as we were going, and literally I think about a year and a half later we got engaged.
Would you guys what would you say to maybe encourage young people that might have previously been in the situation with you, maybe they were together and unsaved, or they're trying to make that transition where they want to glorify God in their relationship? At times there are struggles, it can be hard. What kind of encouragement would you give to people in that situation?
I'd say it's how bad you want it. It's do you really want it, or do you just like the sound of it? Because if you like the sound of it but you're not really willing to put actions into doing it, nothing's going to happen. It's just going to sound less than that. It's just going to be an idea. But if you really want to seek God, if you really want to work on your relationship, fair enough, yes, you've come from a lifestyle that perhaps is contrary to the things of God. All things can change. The same way, even when Christ was on the cross of Calvary, he said obviously to a man that I'll make a way for you to go to heaven, and he asked you literally. So there's no last minute, there's no, how can I put it, there's always that chance to turn, to change. So with that, I'll just say just want it. Both of you have to have it, both of you have to want it, and it's sort of like being equally yoked. Whereas if one person's here and the other person's there,
it's difficult.
It's going to be either one way is going to happen, two things can happen. Either one of you comes down, or the other person brings them up. So just being equally yoked is definitely a key thing, I'd say.
I'd also say that anything in life worth having is worth working hard for. And anything that comes to us easily is easily disposable. So it's difficult, yes, to attain salvation and to keep it. But at the end of the day, I think, to he who much is given, much is expected. And we know that when you have salvation, you live a life of sanctification. A lot is given to you, whether it's in blessings, in glory, in other people's lives, you become a blessing in other people's lives. So I'd say to those people that are struggling, keep going, keep your eye on the prize. At the end of the day, you have to do something different to get something different. So even if you get hurdles, if you kick your foot against the rock, it doesn't mean you should stop. If you fall, get back up. I always so when I just said that, I just remember the song we fall down but we get up. A saint is just a sinner that fell down but got up. If you don't get up, you're not going to be able to see where you can go. If you stayed on the floor, all you're going to see is the cement. But you want to look to the sky, look to God, and see further than you thought you could see.
Amen. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You so much.
My thanks to all the couples for speaking to us. Really learned a lot. Online, across Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, we have behind-the-scenes photos from our shoot, plus our Gina Agre test Amos and Michelle and Emmanuel and Samantha in a special edition of Mr. and Mrs. That's available on Facebook and YouTube. And that's it from me. Coming up next week, we're talking about entrepreneurial trailblazers with Lorraine Wright, Toby Oridem, and Opeyemi Sufaluk. Looking forward to that, but for now, for me and the team, until we meet again, it's bye-bye.